Hi, I am Lila. I'm 8 years old and I am blind.
Lila happily walks with her family, using her cane to navigate the zoo.
People and animals of all abilities and disabilities need different types of habitats. Some swim in the water like otters, or live in the trees like birds. Habitats need to be the right size. This is the big barn where giraffes live. It's the perfect size for them. This is Dave the giraffe. He weighs about 16 feet tall. How much does he weigh? 2,500 pounds. My mom helped me reach high enough to feed him. He has a really long tongue. And here he is in his barn, getting a yummy treat from his zookeeper. Tiny bugs like green katydids and rainbow beetles only need a little space to move, so they live in the Bug World exhibit. Humans need habitats that work for them too. I tried to explore on a cave in the zoo, but I didn't fit. This is a little small for me. Automatic doors let everyone go in and out, including people in wheelchairs.
Julian presses a button and a door opens.
And railings help everyone be safe and find their way around, including people who use canes like me.
Lila follows the railing on a path.
We really just want to make it accessible for everybody.
Thank you, Lila, for taking us along with you as you explored the zoo.
And welcome to Disability Rights Washington's Breaking Barriers event. Hi, I am Mickey Rowe. My pronouns are he, him. If you are blind or low vision, I am a white man with light brown hair. I'm wearing a blue velvet tuxedo, very fancy for Disability Rights Washington's event.
And I'm Helen Marion. My pronouns are she, her. If you are blind or low vision, know that I'm Asian. I have dark hair. Tonight I'm wearing a black dress with sparkly gold and red flowers. We are sitting on a blue velvet couch and there's a green plant over my shoulder. And together we are an interabled couple raising a blended and neurodiverse family of 4 kids right here in Washington State.
Now, I was so lucky to get to be the first autistic actor to play Christopher Boone in the Tony Award-winning play, The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. This also made me one of the first autistic actors to get to play any autistic role openly in a professional setting. I was so lucky to get to win the Christopher Reeve Award at the Media Access Awards. I co-founded the National Disability Theater and was so lucky to get to play the autistic character Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart in the Tony Award-winning play Amadeus. Now, you may ask yourself, what is an autistic person doing working in language-based theaters? I often ask myself this question. I'm often asked how I can be such a good actor in spite of my autism. But I believe that often my differences are one of my strengths. It is such an incredible honor to be here tonight on behalf of Disability Rights Washington. As a disabled Washington State resident and as a King County resident, I know that Disability Rights Washington is fighting daily for my rights. As an autistic person, I know that 85% of college graduates on the autism spectrum are unemployed on any given year. I'm going to repeat that again if you haven't turned your sound on or aren't following along with the captions. Over 85% of college graduates on the autism spectrum are unemployed. Disability Rights Washington is fighting daily to make sure that people with disabilities are not discriminated against in the workplace. Disability Rights Washington knows that people with disabilities are some of the most creative, professional, and hardworking problem solvers out there because of and not in spite of our disabilities. As a disabled person, I know that there is currently no federal minimum wage for so many people with disabilities. Disability Rights Washington is the one organization that I know has my back and is working to change these things. As a disabled person, I know that between 33 and 50% of those people killed in police interactions are people with disabilities, and that a black person with a disability has a 50% chance of being arrested by the age of 28. Disability Rights Washington has our back and is working to change laws to make sure that Washington State is more equitable and accessible for people with disabilities daily. Now, more than 1.7 million people in Washington State have disabilities. That includes all disabilities, including physical, sensory, intellectual, developmental, and learning disabilities.
Psychiatric disabilities, traumatic brain injury, and chronic illness.
26.4% of people in the US have a disability. Now, that's 1 out of 4 people, according to the Center for Disease Control.
And 43% of all US COVID deaths are linked to congregate living facilities, and nearly all who have died had disabilities.
Now, more than ever, we need an organization like Disability Rights Washington protecting us and protecting our laws. So, I hope that you can get out your wallets tonight and donate. Whether you donate $1 or $1 million, your donations are equally appreciated and valued and will make a world of difference. So thank you to our sponsors for their generous support, and every single donation goes directly to supporting DRW's advocacy. Thank you to our partner-level sponsors, Microsoft Accessibility Team. On the screen is an image of their logo.
Thank you to the in-kind donors who contributed to the opportunity drawing and to our restaurant and catering partners.
Now, tonight would not be possible without all of DRW's incredibly hardworking staff. This includes the board of directors, the advocacy council, and a development committee. And thank you for being here at home watching from your couches.
Now, tonight will be a fun-filled hour with 2 videos about DRW's advocacy and the presentation of our Breaking Barriers Award winners. Intermingled, we will announce our 6 opportunity drawing winners and take a quick break midway. Now, to highlight accessibility, we have provided a link in email to Stream Text. You can click on that link to access real-time captions. Each viewer can position that captioning wherever they want on their screen.
We will also use audio descriptions, such as telling you what we look like, what we're wearing, what images pop up on the screen, for any viewers who might be blind or low vision.
We will also have interpreting services provided by THAT, Interpreting Services of Deaf and Deafblind, a deaf-owned business. The interpreter on the screen is a deaf interpreter, Terry Doctor, and the second interpreter, who is not on the screen, is Colleen Jones, who gives him the information from the hosts and speakers.
Now, here is a video just showing you a small part of the large array of services that DRW provides.
Disability Rights Washington staff and community members at various locations.
There are over 900,000 people with disabilities in Washington State.
We want to work.
We want the ability to go to dinner with our friends.
We want access to health care,
to affordable and accessible housing,
to be able to get where we need to go.
Disability Rights Washington is the sole advocacy agency in the state of Washington dedicated to serving people with all kinds of disabilities.
We advocate using the law,
public policy,
video and social media, and community organizing.
We're people with disabilities,
investigators, filmmakers and storytellers, attorneys and organizers.
There is a little-known federal law that allows DRW to go anywhere that people with disabilities are.
That includes hospitals, nursing homes, even jails and prisons. This means we reach people who can't just come to us.
This power to go wherever people with disabilities are helps us stop abuse and serious civil and human rights violations.
We provide individualized rights information and self-advocacy tips so that people with disabilities and our families can advocate for our own rights.
We create system-wide changes to improve access to services.
We help individuals resolve their own issues.
We educate public policy makers on the impact of laws on people with disabilities.
And train people with disabilities to advocate in the legislature.
We tell authentic, accessible stories
and redefine narratives around disability, mental health, and chronic illness.
We are litigating,
organizing,
educating,
and dreaming
to make a more accessible future.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
And co-create a world where we can all be included.
Disability Rights Washington.
Now, everyone who bought a supporter ticket was automatically entered into our opportunity drawings as a thank you to you. So we are now going to announce the winner of the first opportunity drawing. Now, this is for 2 coach tickets on Alaska Airlines. These tickets can take you to anywhere that Alaska Airlines flies, and they are valid through October 2021, right?
Yes.
Awesome. And the winner is, drumroll please, Adrian Shavy. So Adrian Shavy, congratulations on your 2 Alaska Airlines tickets. I can't wait to hear where you end up going. So DRW will follow up with the winners after this event via email.
Now, our next video features Nate and Rachel Nemhauser sharing their story about accessing educational services during COVID. And they're joined by DRW's Director of Advocacy, David Carlson, Andrea Kadlec, staff attorney, and self-advocate, Ivanova Smith.
Hi, I'm David Carlson. I'm a white guy wearing a button-down shirt here in front of my loom. I also happen to be Disability Rights Washington's advocacy director, and I've been working here out of my makeshift home office in my weaving room since COVID started. So in this room, I do a lot of weaving, whether it's with threads or with advocacy types.
David weaves different threads together at his loom.
At Disability Rights Washington, we engage in multimodal advocacy. That means we take a bit of litigation, a bit of community organizing, a bit of storytelling and lobbying, and mash it all together in a way that creates some new, beautiful form of advocacy that hadn't been seen before. And during COVID has been no exception. Our community is impacted in multiple ways. We saw news reports of Washington's crisis response or their rationing plan? What if they run out of ventilators or other important services for people who are experiencing COVID? Their plan was discriminatory against people with disabilities, and the federal government agreed with us after we filed the nation's first complaint on discriminatory rationing plans. We also worked with a broad coalition of people around jail health. Stay safe, stay home has been the mantra throughout this, but if you're stuck in a jail, that's one of the worst places you can be during COVID. And we worked with coalition partners to get jails across the state to reduce their populations by up to 30% or more. And our Rooted in Rights team has been working with a diverse group of disabled filmmakers and storytellers to get individual stories out there about the impact of COVID on people here in Washington and across the country. And they've also been working on increasing accessibility for access to the internet and accessible platforms, because right now everything has moved online. Our communities are still connecting, we're connecting today, and you're about to hear about how schools should be connecting better with students with disabilities, even if they have to be remote.
Can I help you tell your story?
Yeah, Mama.
Okay, thank you. I'm Rachel Nemhauser. This is my son, Nate Nemhauser. Nate is 16 years old, and he's going to be a sophomore in high school. Nate is wearing blue shorts and a gray t-shirt, and he's chewing on a yellow Chewy. And I'm wearing gray shorts and a black top, brown sandals, and I have shoulder-length brown hair. What do you think about staying home every day?
Boring. Boring. Boring.
What would you rather do?
Shoe.
He loves school, which is amazing because Nate's kind of prone to not liking a lot of things.
What's your favorite thing about school?
Yeah.
Nate's favorite thing about school, he's telling you, is his girlfriend, Kira.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you miss her?
Yeah.
Yeah. We went from having a full day's worth of stimulation and education and support to having literally nothing.
My name is Andrea Kadlik. I'm a staff attorney for Disability Rights Washington. I have long, messy brown hair, and I am wearing a blazer, and I'm sitting in my living room and my desk, messy desk. Kids with disabilities have these finely tuned special education plans that are designed to meet their needs. When you take away those finely tuned supports, you can really create havoc for families. And so some of the things kids get in school that not everybody realizes include speech therapy, physical therapy, behavioral supports, really solid structure and individualized instruction so that kids with anxiety have lots of security, lots of support. And when you take away those structures, it's just so hard for the kid. And then it's also really hard for the family.
I'm Ivanova Smith. I'm a self-advocate leader, and I was on an IEP all through K to 12. I have dark brown hair, olive skin, and I'm wearing a black vest with a burgundy t-shirt. And I walk in back and forth because that's part of my disability. Students like Nate and I, we need some direction. It was hard for me to initiate doing things on my own. We just need guidance, and a paraeducator just helps keep us on track.
Nate and Rachel.
And when Nate was understimulated in the early spring and undersupervised and more frustrated and more irritable, I knew I didn't have a choice that I had to fight harder to get him the support he needs at school, because I really believe his mental health and his safety really relied on it.
Ivanova.
I think it would be really harmful to his future if he didn't get that support, because, he may need that support for, on a job. And, if he works on that stuff now while in school, maybe, in the future, he won't need it as much anymore because he can now understand, he gained more self-awareness by having that support.
Nate and Rachel.
What do you want to do after high school?
Why?
A wedding.
House. Old house.
You want your own house?
Old house.
You want to live in our old house with
Yeah.
Kira?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nate points to his house.
You're gonna live here?
Right here.
Yeah. Here.
Like next door?
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
Here. So, also.
oh, so you could just come over whenever you want?
Yeah.
I love that idea. That is, I guess, the massive equity issue, that what he's learning right now will decide if he can live independently or not, and will decide what he has access to and what achievements he has access to. And I'm using him as an example, but this isn't a Nate issue. This is everyone. This is all kids with disabilities.
Andrea.
So many families reached out to us because it was really hard to function as a family without the support that school provided. And Rachel is a good example. One of the things that we worked with Rachel to do was to file a citizen's complaint with the Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction. And that's also known as OSPI.
Nate and Rachel.
Talking to Andrea was so affirming, because it told me I'm right to be asking for what I'm asking for, and I'm right to feel unsatisfied with the response I'm getting. She taught me what the process was for a citizen's complaint. She looked through my draft and gave me suggestions. She also was part of a group of lawyers around the state that organized parents to all submit our citizens' complaints on the same day to send a bigger message.
Andrea.
We probably worked with 24 families or so, and we feel like we're just getting the tip of the iceberg, really, and there's a lot of work left to be done. So I'm looking forward to doing it.
Nate and Rachel.
So we got a decision that was in our favor. The state acknowledged Nate did not get his free and appropriate public education. Disability Rights Washington was a lifesaver to us at this time. Knowing that they were there for anyone, whether you have the ability to pay, is just so critical. So I guess my message to anyone hearing this is an organization that helps, and they can't do it without help from you. They can't do it without financial support, but that financial support goes to an organization that makes a huge difference in the lives of families, but most importantly in the lives of people with disabilities. This isn't really about me, it's not my story, it's about Nate. And knowing that there's an organization committed to defending his rights means everything. So my message is donate, give, help, because this makes a difference. And it's
Oh, God.
Wait, tell him.
Oh, God.
Help us. Yeah.
And a great update. Nate has now returned to attend school in person 2 days a week and is riding the bus. While we understand that there is still more work ahead for Nate and others to obtain an appropriate education, this is a great step forward for Nate, and we hear he and his family are doing much better. So, you heard from Rachel and Nate about how DRW worked with them to protect the rights of kids with disabilities to receive an appropriate education during COVID. But the work is not done, and we need your help.
So now it is time to donate. Now, I know you came with a number in your head for what you were expecting to donate, but I'm going to ask you if you think you can increase that number or even double it. Every single donation makes such a difference, so it's really important to us that you give a donation that is meaningful to you, whatever that means to you.
So, how do you donate? On your screen, there's a link, donate to drw.org. Or you can use your cell phone to make your donation by texting DRW to 474747. This is super easy. You send a text to this number, 474747, and in the body of the text, write the letters DRW. Make sure your phone does not autocorrect that to something else. In the text, write DRW. You will then receive a response with a link to make your donation.
Again, go to donate2drw.org or text DRW to 474747, making sure that it doesn't autocorrect. So, can you give $2,500? If you can, if that is something that is doable for you, here are some examples of what your money can accomplish. Here are some examples of what your generosity helped us to do last year with $2,500. So last year, $2,500 made it so that 50 people with disabilities traveled to Olympia to the Capitol to share their stories with policymakers in the Cross Disability Advocacy Day. And this included providing transportation and speaker stipends for these people.
Last year, 2,500 made it so DRW staff helped to safeguard the health of people with disabilities. We monitored 3 institutions in Washington state by virtually meeting with people with developmental disabilities living in those institutions to see if they were being harmed or if their rights were being violated. Through that virtual monitoring, DRW found the facility was not in compliance with infection control procedures, placing people at risk of COVID-19. In response, DRW alerted the appropriate authorities about the noncompliance, and appropriate steps were taken to protect residents and staff.
So go donate right now. I hope you have another tab open while you're listening to me, and you're making your donation now. Okay, another thing last year that we were able to accomplish with $2,500. Last year with $2,500, DRW took legal action by submitting an amicus brief in the Ninth Circuit Court to protect speech between patients and medical providers. And this is so important. This is an important effort to ensure that people are able to seek health care, and specifically mental health services, without any fear of retaliation. Last year, $2,500 made it so that we created a new opportunity by contracting with a guest editor in our Rooted in Rights blog. And this provided different perspectives from within the disability community while paying fair wages to writers with disabilities.
Every donation you can make makes a difference. Together, we can break barriers to equity, self-determination, and civil rights for people with disabilities. Every gift counts, so give at a level that is meaningful to you.
So in another tab, you have open donate to drw.org, or you have your phone out and you've texted DRW to 474747, making sure that it doesn't autocorrect.
Can you give $1,000? We have some more examples of what we were able to do last year with $1,000. 40 people with disabilities in rural areas learned storytelling skills and how to advocate and navigate the legislature through 2 fully accessible trainings, including CART, ASL, stipends to speakers, and for childcare, transportation, and training materials. $1,000 made it so our staff protected the health and safety of people with disabilities in prisons by monitoring conditions and reporting 4 health and safety violations at 2 prison units. A specialized prison unit for 100 people with intellectual disabilities, traumatic brain injuries, and other cognitive conditions, and the most restrictive prison mental health unit in Washington, holding 27 people with disabilities. With $1,000, we directed and edited a video in which our transportation intern, Blake Guyan, highlighted the lack of accessible sidewalks to safely access the Pierce County Election Center, a public building that has accessible voting equipment that allows people with disabilities to vote freely and privately. Now, that video was featured in the News Tribune this past November. After the attention from the video, the city of Tacoma agreed to pave new segments of sidewalk connecting nearby bus routes to the election center.
Can you give $150? Is that something that you can do? For $150, disabled writers have a paid opportunity to share an authentic story on the Rooted in Rights blog. Can you give $100? Is that possible? For $100, people with disabilities advocate for their own rights with technical assistance from DRW. Again, you can donate by going to the link donate to drw.org or texting DRW to 474747, and just make sure that DRW doesn't autocorrect. And we will update you later on in the program on how much we've raised so far. So do it now so that you can be included in that update.
And you can also make a pledge online if you plan on sending in a check or using a donor-advised fund grant. Just go to donate to drw.org or text DRW to 474747 so we can count your donation today.
Okay, we are about to take a 5-minute break, but before we do, we just wanted to thank some of our sponsors. At the partner level, we have Microsoft Accessibility Team. At the advocate level, Group Health Foundation. Our friends, Andrew Biviano, attorney at Packard and Tropman, PLLC. Jennifer and Peter McAuliffe. Peter Korn and Anneli Meyer-Korn. Planned Parenthood of Greater Washington and North Idaho. At the host level, McDonald, Hogue, and Bayless, Accessibility Oz, Frank Fried, Subit, and Thomas, One Digital Health and Benefits, Anderson Ellis, Wilson Sonsini, Goodrich, and Rosati Foundation, Pam Crone, Washington Alarm, Sarah Bird at Windermere Spokane, and our in-kind donors, Alaska Airlines, Seattle Mariners, Columbia Winery, Rooftop Brewing, Lagunitas Brewing, and Bale Breaker Brewing. And our restaurant and catering partners, Gourmando and K Catering.
Now, we hope you are enjoying your dinners from K Catering and Gourmando in Seattle. Now we're going to take a short break and be back in 5 minutes for the presentation of the Breaking Barriers Awards and our remaining 5 opportunity drawings. See you soon.
See you soon.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Okay, we are now going to announce 2 opportunity drawings. So the first opportunity drawing we're going to announce now is for 4 Mariners tickets to the Seattle Mariners. So imagine being at the Mariners at the Terrace Club or main level. So these 4 tickets are for the 2021 season. And the winner is Carrie Bassis. So congratulations, Carrie Bassis, on your 4 Mariners tickets.
The next opportunity drawing prize is a Columbia Winery prize. You and a guest can be a wine club member for a day. Enjoy a tasting with access to the private club room and patio with wine and merchandise discounts. And the winner of the Columbia Winery prize is Ryan Neighbors. Congratulations, Ryan.
Now, this is the part of the night that I know we've all actually been waiting for. We are so excited about the presentation of the Breaking Barriers Awards.
To introduce the awards and present the Emerging Advocate and Advocacy Award, Mark Stroh, Executive Director.
Good evening. My name is Mark Stroh. I'm a white man wearing a headset and a shirt with purple and black squares. And the little hair that I have is gray. I'm in front of a lovely DRW-themed white and blue backdrop designed by our IT manager, Jody Rose. I'm also the Executive Director of Disability Rights Washington. I'm here to deliver some well-earned thank yous. A thank you to each of you for attending and supporting DRW and its constituents, as well as paying tribute to our Breaking Barrier Award winners. A thank you to all of our staff and development committee volunteers who did the work to put this evening together. A thank you to all of our sponsors and in-kind donors. We appreciate you making this event possible. Finally, a thank you to Mickey Rowe and Helen Marion for hosting tonight with so much passion and energy. We are honored that the 2 of you chose to be with us tonight and appreciate your generous gifts of time and talent. And now for the Breaking Barrier Awards. DRW and its partners in the disability community cannot do this work alone. So tonight we honor others in our community who also have worked to break down the barriers that hold disabled people back. This year, we have selected 5 impactful and impressive honorees, each of whose work not only serves as a model for others, but also echoes DRW's core values and priorities. The first award this evening is the Emerging Advocate Award. This award recognizes a disabled person who has begun advocating in the last few years, who demonstrates a strong commitment to disability rights or disability justice in Washington, who motivates others to do advocacy, and who builds a more inclusive community. This year's award goes to Rochelle Boyer. Rochelle is a junior at the University of Washington. She advocates for the rights and inclusion of disabled students. Rochelle is a role model, presenting on panels, facilitating discussions, demonstrating advocacy methods, and providing insight on how to promote a positive disability culture. As part of the University of Washington's Do It community, Rochelle empowers students with disabilities pursuing secondary education. As a student with dyslexia, she has fought for her rights to education. Disappointed with the lack of resources or tips to help students with dyslexia learn a second language, Rochelle plans to study abroad for a full year, documenting her experiences and compiling tips on how to learn a second language. As a journalist for the Daily at University of Washington, she writes content from the perspective of a student with a disability and openly talks about how UW can improve access for students with disabilities. Congratulations to you, Rochelle, on this accomplishment, and we look forward to seeing the results of your future work.
Thank you.
Rochelle smiles while holding up her blue Breaking Barriers award plaque.
Hi, I'm Rochelle Boyer. I'm a white woman with brown hair, green eyes, and clear glasses. I have been puzzling over what words to say or how to say thank you to everyone who has impacted my life and brought me to this point. I am unable to find the words that match the depth of my gratitude. Being dyslexic, I spent most of my life thinking about what would life be without dyslexia. This award is now a physical reminder that dyslexic or not, I have a voice and that I can and should be using it, both in the present and the future. Because of a disability, my life isn't already mapped out. This award will become a physical symbol on my wall to remind me that I have a community behind me who both supports and believes in me. So once again, thank you for this honor.
Back to Mark.
Tonight's second award is the Advocacy Award. DRW presents it to an advocate with a disability who has made a significant contribution in the past year to advance the rights of people with disabilities in Washington State. This year, we are presenting it to Josh Galassi. Josh is a writer and advocate living in Seattle. He is also a gay man with cerebral palsy. His work often examines the intersection between disability and sexuality. Since 2016, Josh has been writing for Queerty.com, one of the largest LGBTQ news websites in the world. In addition to writing about his own personal experiences as a disabled gay man, Josh has profiled several prominent disability activists, including Andrew Gurza and Ryan O'Connell. In October 2019, Josh was given his own bi-weekly disability column for Queerty.com. It's called Discabled. There, Josh has tackled everything from abasiophilia, or the fetishization of people with disabilities, to dating, to confronting his own internalized ableism. Josh approaches his advocacy work with a blend of humor and heart. It is through this that he hopes he is able to upend preconceived notions of disability. Congratulations, Josh, on an honor well deserved.
Thank you so much, and thank you to Disability Rights Washington, and congratulations to all my fellow recipients. My name is Josh Galassi. I'm a white male, and I'm wearing a short pink button-up, and I'm holding my clear and blue fancy award. I'm so excited to be here tonight and to be, be celebrating with so many incredible people. I know for me personally, it feels a little bit wild to be here and to be accepting this award. I know growing up in rural Montana, I never honestly thought I would amount to anything. I think just where I came from, I didn't come from a rich family or had a bunch of, connections or lived in a big city. And so it really took me a long time to kind of find my voice and kind of be able to use it for good and for other people. And so I guess tonight I would just really love to dedicate this award to, anybody else who's struggling out there or who's having a hard time speaking up for themselves. I think, as disabled people, we're used to having barriers, whether that's to get around or find places to live. And I think the beautiful thing about barriers is that they can all be broken. I think it just really depends on finding your inner strength to use your voice. Everybody has a voice within them, and it deserves to be heard and to be spoken. And so really, I'd just love to dedicate this to all my fellow disabled brothers and sisters out there, and just hope that all of us together can continue to break barriers as we go through life.
Congratulations to Rochelle and Josh. The Public Advocacy Award is going to be announced next, but first we really wanted to provide you an update with all the donations that you've been sending in so far. So because of your generosity at home, so far we have raised $44,000. So remember to keep those donations coming in. Help us. We need to get to our goal of $60,000, hopefully. So we are tallying all of these numbers up right now, and we need your help to reach our goal. So right now, you can still donate. Go to donate to drw.org or text DRW to 474747, making sure DRW doesn't autocorrect. If you don't want to donate at this moment, but you want to make a pledge, you can still do that now. Go to donate-to-drw.org, and we can make that happen.
Okay, so next up, Anna Zivats, the director of the Disability Mobility Initiative at DRW, is presenting the Public Policy Award.
Two people seated outdoors. A white woman with short, dark brown hair speaks.
Hi, this is Anna Zivarts. I am the program director of Disability Rights Washington new Disability Mobility Initiative, and I'm here with my senator, Rebecca Saldana, here in the 37th Legislative District, and I'm here to present Rebecca with our Public Policy Award for her amazing leadership in the legislature.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here, and I look forward to our ongoing work together. My name is Rebecca Saldana. I'm the state senator in the 37th Legislative District. I identify as she, her, they, and as a Chicana, Mexican-American mother, daughter, and resident of Rainier Beach neighborhood. Before I was a state senator, I started my career as a union organizer with janitors and farm workers, and most recently worked for a nonprofit called Puget Sound Sage that works at the intersection of equitable transit-oriented development, good jobs, and climate justice. So now I serve as the state senator as the majority leader, deputy leader of the Senate, co-chair of Members of Color Caucus, and the vice chair of the Transportation Committee.
We're presenting her this award because of the work we did together last session around transportation equity, making sure people with disabilities and transit riders and those who are transit dependent have access to our communities. And we're going to continue to work with Senator Saldana this year. And we really respect the work she's done to bring together communities that wouldn't necessarily always be talking together or on the same page, but helping us realize that we really do have shared visions and shared needs, and that together we can create a more equitable future. So thank you for working with us.
Thank you so much for this award. To me, this is really a symbol of the importance of our continued work together. As someone who is very aware during COVID of the blessing of having health, and that I don't take that for granted. But also someone that is still learning in terms of how to be an accomplice with the disability advocacy community, and making sure that as we make policy, that you're centered in our decisions, that you're at the table, because we know when we center those that often are not included, we get better policy that works for everyone. And so really appreciate this recognition and look forward to much of the hard work ahead of us.
Congratulations, Senator Saldana.
Now, here is my friend Clark Matthews, Creative Director of Rooted in Rights. I've long been a fan of Rooted in Rights video content. If you don't know Rooted in Rights, after this ends, make sure to check out their incredible video content online after the awards. So Clark is presenting the Business Leader Award.
Hi, my name is Clark Matthews. I'm the Creative Co-Director of Rooted in Rights. I have dark hair, light skin, I'm wearing a purple shirt. I'm joining you from my living room in front of my Zoom-friendly bookshelf. DRW's Business Leader Award is presented to a business or organization that has made a significant contribution to the lives and rights of people with disabilities here in Washington State. This year we present to the Woodland Park Zoo for their continuing work to make conservation education more accessible to disabled visitors like Lila and myself. The zoo has overhauled their website with helpful resources, hosts sensory-friendly Fridays at their amazing Zoomasium, and committed to having people with disabilities represented at every level of the organization, on their board, their staff, their volunteers, guests, and even budding YouTube stars. Accepting this award on behalf of the zoo is Dr. Alejandro Grajal, President and CEO of the Woodland Park Zoo.
Transition to Dr. Grajal outdoors.
Thank you, Disability Rights Washington. On behalf of everyone here at Woodland Park Zoo, we're honored to receive this Breaking Barriers Award 2020. Thank you so much. The COVID-19 pandemic has deeply disrupted our lives, and hard-fought victories for inclusion are being challenged every day with new health regulations and society concerns. We must remain totally committed to include the needs of everyone all the time. This Breaking Barrier Award demonstrates the focus and innovation of our community to ensure inclusion and access for all. The mission of the zoo is to save wildlife and inspire everyone to make conservation a priority in their lives. And here the emphasis is on everyone, because the inclusion of diverse voices, perspectives, and abilities enriches the mission of the zoo and ensures conservation of nature. Creating an environment where all voices are celebrated and included takes work and takes determination. It also requires the guidance and support of many partners that continue to help the zoo in its journey for accessibility and inclusion. COVID-19 pandemic has thrown a lot of roadblocks on our way, and we must remain committed to overcome those roadblocks and continue this journey for inclusion. Thanks to Disability Rights Washington for all your help and guidance, and make sure that we as a community remain committed to this long-fought journey for access and inclusion. The zoo is open to everybody, and please come and enjoy this green oasis that Woodland Park Zoo is for our community in every respect. Thank you so much.
Congratulations to the Woodland Park Zoo. I know we love the zoo. With our blended neurodiverse family of 4 kids, the zoo is an incredible resource to us. And on that note, hello to our kids watching at home. We love you. Okay, next up we have Mark Stroh, Executive Director of DRW, to present the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Mark.
The final award this evening is the Lifetime Achievement Award. A Lifetime Achievement Award goes to a disabled person who has demonstrated a long-term commitment to breaking the barriers that impede people with disabilities. This year's award goes to Nathan Luce.
A close-up photo of Nathan, a white man with brown facial hair.
It was presented posthumously at an August memorial service with his family present.
Mark presents Nathan's Lifetime Achievement Award at an outdoor park with trees and mountains in the background on a beautiful sunny day.
For his years of leadership and success, Disability Rights Washington, we call it DRW, is presenting the 2020 DRW Breaking Barriers Lifetime Achievement Advocacy Award posthumously to the family of Nathan Luce, who earned it for his years of leadership and success. It's not an award that we give out every year, but rather it is an award we reserve for the most exceptional of the exceptional. And those individuals are few and far between.
A full body photo of Nathan in his power chair, wearing a Seahawks sweatshirt. Mark.
DRW staff knew Nathan as chair of our Disability Advisory Committee and a member of our board of directors. Nathan was widely recognized as a state leader in advocacy for self-directed in-home care. He believed that people who use in-home services should be in charge of directing their own care. including hiring, firing, training, and supervising caregivers. Through many years of effective advocacy, Nathan ensured that policymakers consider and respond to the perspective of people with disabilities in designing and delivering in-home services. Nathan worked tirelessly in support of the right to live in one's own home in the community. Over the years, Nathan developed subject matter expertise in issues related to home care services, and he became a recognized leader and spokesperson. As a leader, Nathan encouraged and supported other people with disabilities in speaking up for their own rights. He did this on the public stage by supporting others and learning how to do legislative and regulatory advocacy. He also helped people with disabilities succeed in establishing homes in the community. Nathan did this through his business. Nathan received referrals from the state to assist people moving out of nursing homes or homelessness in finding homes in the community and securing services they needed to succeed. Both in his business and through his public advocacy, Nathan worked to support the rights of every person with a disability to live and participate in the community. And we are honored today to recognize these achievements with this award. Nathan will truly, truly be missed. And on behalf of Disability Rights Washington, and there are a number of us here today, I want to present this to Joanne and the rest of the family. It's the Breaking Barriers Award, presented to Nathan Luce in 2020, Breaking Barriers to Advance the Rights and Improve the Lives of People with Disabilities.
Mark hands the Breaking Barriers plaque to Nathan's family member.
That concludes tonight's awards ceremony. A big thank you to the awards committee for their hard work in reviewing all of the very many impressive entries.
And we want to thank, honor, and remember Nathan for the service, advocacy, and change that he left behind. And we want to thank his family who received the Lifetime Achievement Award on his behalf.
Now for the final 3 opportunity drawings. First up, the Bale Breaker Brewing Prize. Now they are a family-owned brewery in Yakima. The winner will receive a t-shirt, trucker hat, koozie, and a $25 gift card to use at the tap room or online. And the winner of the Bale Breaker Brewing Prize is Joshua Stella.
Hey.
Joshua Stella, congratulations.
Next is the Lagunitas Brewing Package. So Lagunitas Brewing began in Northern California, but it's now available in over 20 countries. The winner will receive a swag bag from Lagunitas Brewing and 2 cases of Lagunitas beer. And the winner is Gerald Cohen. Congratulations, Gerald.
And next up, the Rooftop Brewing Prize. Now, Rooftop Brewing is a Seattle brewery offering social distancing on their deck or growlers to go. The winner will receive a gift card good for the price of 1 growler. And the winner of the Rooftop Brewing Prize is Gail Stone. Congratulations, Gail. Now, if you won tonight, our staff will be emailing you, or you can reach out to our office on Monday at 206-324-1521. Again, that phone number is 206-324-1521. And let them know you want to arrange for your prize.
But wait, it's not too late to donate. So if you've been resting on your couch like we've been resting here on our couch, you can right now open up a new tab and go to donate-to-drw.org or get out your phone and text DRW to 474747. Make sure it says DRW, 474747. And now we will announce the total raised so far by the Breaking Barriers event. So we want donations to come in after this, but so far we've raised $58,000. That is so amazing. But keep those donations coming. We just need $2,000 more to help us get to our goal today of $60,000. Keep it coming, $2,000 more, and then we want you to keep giving because $60,000 is just the minimum of what we needed. That's the minimum of our goal, but we want to exceed the goal because every donation is just going to make it so that DRW can make even more difference in Washington State. Also, if you have an individual giving page on Facebook or somewhere like that, keep it open after this event. Don't close it down just because the event has finished. And also continue remembering to invite your friends to donate to your individual page.
Well, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you KPC Studios for live streaming tonight's event. And thank you again to Senator Saldana for joining us tonight.
We are a diverse, vibrant, and powerful community together. So thank you all for your support. From all over Washington State, you've been tuning in on YouTube. From all over the US, you've been tuning in. Thank you for attending this wonderful celebration of our community. And thank you for donating to Disability Rights Washington to keep our community strong.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you for attending Disability Rights Washington's 5th Annual Breaking Barriers event. Thank you to our community for your presence tonight, your donations, and for sharing DRW with your friends and family through individual fundraising pages. Congratulations to our Breaking Barriers award winners. Special thanks to our sponsors, in-kind donors, guest speakers Nate and Rachel Nemhauser, and our engaging hosts, Helen Marion and Mickey Rowe. Together, we can create a more inclusive community. You can still make donations through individual fundraising pages and at www.donatedtodrw.org.